The following is a hockey podcast out of Vancouver and Surrey, British Columbia. It'll only consist of a lot of puck talk and even more BS, or in actual words, banter and satire. Enjoy, and as always, go Canucks go.
People, if you haven't done so already, you got to watch Thatcher Demko and his media availability today after practice, because it was a classic, okay? It gave me the energy to do this, and that's talk to you. Yes, Vancouver, we got to do this on this episode of Locked On Canucks.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Damn, did you hear my stutter? That's how excited I am to do this, and that's talk about your Canucks, your Vancouver Canucks, and Thatcher Demko, because man, oh man, that was something. That was the energy, and that's your number one goaltender. One of the best in the league. And it feels like this right now, okay? He feels like the difference maker. And am I making excuses? I don't think so. Right, here I am, full of energy, hours after. I wouldn't say pessimism through my blood, but just boredom. Wanting more, expecting more from the Canucks, waiting for them to be consistent. And what I just saw, again, link in the bio to that Thatcher Demko interview, what I just saw was energy, swagger, something that's missing from the Vancouver Canucks. A classic media availability, and one that ended with, I don't even think I'm paraphrasing. It ended with a sentence like, you guys are the worst. And that was after a second question involving Demko's availability, possibly this Saturday, okay? And he said it, right? And this time I'm paraphrasing, but it sounds like the Calgary Flames game, right? That's the one. Game 81. That's the one that Demko plays in. That being said, he didn't rule it out. He didn't say, nah, I'm not playing on Saturday. He literally said, I don't know, right? I don't know about Saturday. We don't know about Saturday. That's the energy I got. And it makes for cinema. Big time cinema. Now, does it connect? Maybe. What? Think about this. The Arizona Coyotes, the one team that just found a way to beat your team after eviction, is also playing the Edmonton Oilers. That team that's 4 points behind with 2 games in hand of your Vancouver Canucks. And they play on Friday. So let's say Edmonton wins and they're 2 points behind heading into that 4-point game against your Vancouver Canucks. You best believe that Demko would be itching to get back on Saturday. Again, cinema. Now, you need characters in cinema, right? You could say the same for Connor McDavid, too. I'm pretty sure. I don't know anything about the Edmonton Oilers, but I'm pretty sure that team that beat Vegas easily without McDavid can beat Arizona without McDavid. Give him more of a rest. But again, if it's pay-per-view Saturday and it's a 4-point game, the Oilers 2 points behind the Vancouver Canucks with 1 game in hand, you know that's a matchup. He's going to suit up for it because that is it. That's playoff hockey. Dude, here's the thing. A lot of people talking out there about how the home field or the extra home game is not that important. Dude, come on. Don't get ahead of yourself. Get your head out of your ass. Playoffs and home field advantage, it may not be the same as it was in years past, but I'm pretty sure players in a Canadian market would want Game 7 in their barn. And I know that's a soft area for us Canucks fans, but again, these points matter. And these two teams probably, if quote-unquote all things go well, will meet in round 2. And Saturday night can determine the decisive game, right? Those points matter. If McDavid plays, I think Demko plays. And if he doesn't, it's okay. We can still beat the Oilers, okay? Casey DeSmith went into Edmonton all those months ago and did it before, and I got the faith. I'm back to being positive. I'm back to just putting that positive energy out there. Because again, that Demko media availability, it felt like a damn podcast episode. It was cinema too. It's giving me that juice. It's also giving me that reminder that, man, oh man, how can you expect the Canucks to be the Canucks if Thatcher Demko was not their goaltender game in and game out, right? If that level of confidence and swagger is not in your lineup, it makes things harder for a team that's still really new to this. New to what? That's winning games, playing games that are pretty important in this this time called spring. Maybe, yes, maybe the Vancouver Canucks, your Vancouver Canucks, not playing the same because they can't. Why can't they play the same? Because, I don't know, Thatcher Demko is not there. They got to go into protect mode, right? And here's the thing, too, a little detail that I forget about. Kyle Bowen forgets about. What happened in that game against the Winnipeg Jets? Yes, Thatcher Demko, your guy, gets injured. Haven't seen him since. But another thing happened in that game, too, was probably the display of the ultimate form of the Vancouver Canucks because they were going. Coming off a 3-game road trip, I think, where they played really well against LA and Vegas, got some dubs. They also came into Rogers Arena back home and just played an excellent performance against the Winnipeg Jets. One that, again, they haven't really lived up to or matched ever since Demko was gone. In other words, the Canucks were firing on all cylinders on that date. Now, keep in mind, that was a pretty big game, too, okay? What did Winnipeg do? What, a month prior, a couple weeks prior in Vancouver? They kind of embarrassed us in the third period. Your Canucks stepped up. Demko got injured, blah, blah, blah. All I'm trying to say is, bro, these are not your Canucks because Thatcher Demko hasn't played a game in a long time. Will he be there on Saturday? I don't know. Okay? I don't know. If McDavid plays, though, I think he's going to play. Demko seems like a baller. Demko seems like a gamer, dude. Bro. The energy, man. I used to call him the Stoic, right? Has anyone read the book, The Daily Stoic? It's out and about, okay? For real. It truly is. Such an important book, and Thatcher Demko definitely reminds me of one of the main characters in that book. So calm, so cool, so collected. So I don't give a beep. So business. Speaking of business, hey, Bubble Demko. Playoff Demko. Haven't seen him since. Does he return? Probably. And what if he does? You can close your eyes and think about that. Yes, there are plenty of flaws here, right? It's been a quote unquote mediocre rise to the top, essentially, over the last 30 games for the Vancouver Canucks. It hasn't been completely satisfying. I know, right? So much more is wanted from the top 6. So much more is wanted 5-on-5 from the power play, from the penalty kill, from Pettersson and Lindholm. I know. Ian Cole not looking the same. I know. But having a goaltender like Demko buys time. It really does. And when those things start firing, aka when Pettersson gets his game back, and you also got Demko at the top of his game, aka Bubble Demko, the return, Miller doing him. Miller's just unbelievable right now. And Quinn Hughes playing his best hockey this season. There's still that sauce here, that recipe for something magical. A lot of talent across the board. And Demko, on his best nights, maybe the most talented. And that's saying a lot with Quinn Hughes in the lineup, but Bubble Demko, that Demko against Vegas all those years ago, that run that he went on still holds a close place into my sports fandom heart because, and it really had nothing to do with the jersey. Okay, maybe it had a lot to do with the jersey, but the main point is being a sports fan and being able to witness that for what seemed like 4 games was just excellent. It was athletic. It was so much so what makes sports so astonishing, so amazing. So you got to see this. So you got to grab the remote. Yes, Demko is must-see TV, and when he's on his game, like he was back then, again, is he as talented as Quinn Hughes, Pettersson, etc.? Yes, he is. Let's get to the comments before I get out of here. Okay, let's go to this one. Okay, Matt Folger saying that the Oilers, right, the Edmonton Oilers, need to play the Coyotes twice. That means the math is in their favor, bro. At the end of the day, the Canucks just gotta handle their business. Okay, I think the Oilers realistically will win every game left on their schedule, other than the one on Saturday. And if that's the case, we win the division. Straight up, that's the way the Canucks have to look at the Oilers schedule if they're doing that, which we know they're not. They're too focused. They're too wired. But as a fan, again, if I'm looking at it, I'm just projecting the Oilers are going to win every game outside of the one on Saturday. And that's okay because that means we don't blow this division lead. Because this division lead, if it goes to the Oilers, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there, okay? Come on. Thatcher Demko. Speaking up. If I said what I was about to say and Thatcher Demko saw me at a Starbucks, bro, boiling water down my back, I don't know. But he would be mad. Okay, that's not the mindset we need here on the West Coast, the best coast of Canada, during the spring when hockey matters again. Straight up. We had a comment from Red Risotto too, okay? And this is a continuation of what Risotto was saying in the earlier episode we did on Locked On Canucks, where we talked about, Lindholm and Pettersson being those other guys that gives you that question, right? Like, what if the Canucks or what if those guys actually play up to their level? On top of the more structure, the floor being raised, guys like Connor Garland elevating. What if they're in the mix of guys that are playing their best? How good can this team be? Anyways, well, just check that episode out on the channel. And Red Risotto, in the comments of that last episode, was going after Tocchet, man. He was going after Tocchet the whole time. And look what he says here, okay? Rick Tocchet was, quote-unquote, a non-entity when he was coaching for the Penguins. Only a towel boy. Not giving him a lot of credit, man. Look, a lot of trolls on the internet, okay? A lot of trolls on the Canucks side of things, right? This is all for entertainment, right? At the end of the day, though, you got to be careful with your words because we're about to watch games that really, 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 really matter. So if you got a joke, a dangerous joke like that, one that goes against your favorite team that's in first place, that is about to play its most important game since 2015 or 2011 or 2020, I can't do the math, you know what I'm saying? Keep it to yourself. Straight up. You're allowed to have your own feelings. You're entitled to your own. I'm not going to tell you how to fan, but bro, if you're going to make a nasty joke like that, talking about Rick Tocchet being just a towel boy, just keep it to yourself, okay? Or a group chat. Not here. I love this question. It comes from Bob Bluger. No relations to Teddy? Who knows? This is the internet. We're all strangers, right? He's asking the question, who is more likely to make an impact in the postseason, Midholm or Ilya Mikheyev? Wow. Midholm and Mikheyev. You best believe I'm going to say Elias Lindholm. We saw things. We saw more than we've seen in a long time. And that's not taking into account the injury. But Lindholm played a pretty inspiring game against the Salt Lake City, Utah Jazz, right? Who did we play yesterday? I'm going to put some energy out there and say that Lindholm, who's fighting for a lot, his reputation, seems like a proud guy. You can bring up the whole contract thing too. I feel as if he's going to be determined and get rid of the past, okay? The recent past. An elevation in Lindholm's game is coming. You best believe that. And the Canucks need that. If they're going anywhere in the playoffs, they need that. I was going to say another thing that was kind of dark, but that's not the energy right now. We've been dark all week for the past 2 weeks. Go check out those episodes. And you can do so when? Maybe right now, okay? That was a short episode of Locked On Canucks. Just, again, spewing out some energy there. Thatcher Demko coming back, doing his thing, seeming really confident. Maybe I'm over-exaggerating my connection to my sudden change in energy due to the discourse from Thatcher Demko and that media availability. But I don't think my heart's lying to me. Again, we got one of the most confident guys in the league coming back. The playoffs are around the corner. This guy was on his game right before he got injured. He's been on his game for the majority of the season. And again, the playoffs around the corner. Demko, playoffs, what happened the last time? He was damn near the best athlete in the game for a stretch of games, okay? So when he's talking like that and being so just precise with the lack of quantity with his words, being serious, giving the attitude to the media, it just bodes well for, again, my ego, okay? It felt like a WWE promo. It really did. And I'm just coming off of WrestleMania. One love to Thatcher Demko. One love to the Vancouver Canucks. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. If you're new here, again, at the top of the show, at a loss for words. Stuttering my words. Because, again, I'm back. I'm back. And heading into Saturday, that game against the Oilers coming up, I'm glad I'm feeling confident again about your team that just lost to the Utah Salt Lake City Maroons of Arizona. My name's Kyle Bound, and I approve of this message. One love to Locked On Canucks.
Your Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network,